hand also? What makes you think I want to see your hand in my video?
No, you! Remember you make my face as a clickbait?
Oh yeah, because you know your face was looking nice. Your face was looking nice, so I thought I'd use it. Yeah, because that was your birthday, remember?
You bully. You also
His face looks nice. You don't have to beef this young man, okay?
He has a 5 head, not a 4 head.
Well, it doesn't matter. 5 and 4 are numbers, okay? Alex, just ignore her, okay? That's what the girls do sometimes. Okay, can we try the first one quickly? About 5 minutes. Mister, you need more than one hand, okay? Thank you. Okay, you need 2 hands. If you want to bring out the second hand from under your shirt, you have to use 2 hands.
He drops my shorts on and he went all over here. All of the arm, and then he went back.
Rita, can I have the extra one so I can just for projection for now, then I'll give it back after class. You don't have the plain papers? Wait, did I give you guys something on Friday? Oh, yes. Okay, alright. Hold on. You see my beautiful hand on the screen?
I have a beautiful hand.
More beautiful than Gabby's hand. That's why she's jealous.
No, my hand is
She's always jealous of my hand.
Everybody's jealous of
Okay, let's quickly get it done. Okay, I can see some things. Try not to draw double lines, and your line should be done once. Like you draw your line straight once. You don't have to go back and forth. I'll show you what I mean in a few minutes time when I have everyone try it out. Good. Looks neat. Terry, I'm waiting for you.
I haven't done anything. You're not writing anything. You're constructing.
Come on. Lazy. Okay, if you finish, raise your hand. Okay. I'm going to put this at strategic points when people need plain paper, so you don't have to move around too much. How do we do it now? I don't want people moving around so much. If I put it here, then you can pass it on. Okay. Or maybe we just leave about 2 or 3 on everybody's desk to start with. How about that? I don't want people just moving around too much. So let's just give everybody 1 to 2 extra. I'm waiting for the rest of you to do your construction. You have to like tighten it. You have to drive out when you get it. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah. Correct actually, but anyhow, you can put it on your desk. Papers, get tissue, clean it up. That was for girls usually have to do that. Don't use your hand next time. So I leave 2 for you here. Yes. Did you see the way she sounded? Like, thank you. What's that? Like Teletubbies kind of voice? Okay, the big boys at the back. Sir Isaac Newton. And Mr. Onyu, what? Faraday, maybe. Okay. All right, everybody has 2 extra just in case. So I'm going to demonstrate mine. You've done a good job. I've seen what a lot of you have done. Please just look at what I'm about to do. Now the reason I told you to come with 2 pencils is because one has to be in your compass permanently like that. Okay? You have to have one here. And it shouldn't be a big pencil, not too long. Why do I insist it to be a short pencil? If I'm trying to draw a circle, now imagine me having a longer pencil, there's likelihood that it touches my hand and I make some mistakes while trying to draw the arc, then it shifts by 0.01 and it affects my final result. Okay? So that's why it's always good to have a smaller one. But if you're using a compass like that of, is that Sasonia or Melody? You know, the one that looks like a techie kind of compass. Anyways, if you're using that, then you don't have to worry. But if you're using my kind of compass where you have to attach the pencil, then you need to make sure the smaller pencil is in the compass. No, I'm not saying like a fake one like yours. I mean,
Whoa.
no, I never said your compass is fake. I only said I wasn't talking about a fake one like that. I didn't call yours fake. Alright. So, everybody please, troops, is there a way you could just turn off the one alone? Just the one in front of the class? The one in front. This is, okay. Yeah, I think this is better. Can we see the screen, everyone? Alright. So please look up, everyone. I know you've done this already, but please look up. Quiet, please. Thank you. Let me try to zoom out so we can cover like that area. Okay, that's good. So I said, now most of the time, you wouldn't need Giselle. GG. Are you Hey. Alright. So most of the time, this first step is not going to be what you need to do. Are you listening? Most of the time, this first step wouldn't be required of you because the line is already there. I'm only writing these steps because we're going to draw the line ourselves on the paper and all those things, right? So, like, nobody will give you something in IGCSE and you have to draw the line AB. The line is probably there. One of the questions I saw in one of the IGCSE papers, rather than having the line, they have 2 dots. Like having this point as A and having another point as B. And the question asks that you bisect the line AB, which means you are expected to draw the line AB and bisect it. It's one of the questions that I've compiled. I'll give you the combined question maybe on Friday. But for now, we just work on papers for practice. Is that clear? Okay, so the line will be given, so you don't have to worry about the first part. That's my point. So let's suppose the line has been given, which you have drawn yourself, I believe. So that's my line. Please, all construction work should be done in pencil. Forget the fact that I'm using pen here. I just want it to be more visible. All construction work should be done in pencil. And don't say, well, it's a erasable pen. No. Graph, anything drawing, nobody needs to tell you. It should be done in pencil. Okay? Alright? So let's pretend that's my line AB. So the first thing you should do is to label it A and B. Okay? You have to label them, points A and B. Can you see now? Yep. But some of you couldn't see. Alright. So maybe I'll put this here. So much better. So point A, B. Now, I'm going to be giving you some tips to, I would say, perfecting your construction skills. One of the tips I use in my high school days, there's this subject we used to call technical drawing. Who knows who an architect is? People that draw plan of building and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So it's more or less the high school architectural subject. We call it technical drawing, so we learn a lot about building drawing, engineering drawing, and all we use, last one, last one. All we use is our compass, ruler to make things, come out, basically. So one of the things that our teacher those days told us, I remember names. One Mr. Maji and the other was Mr. Obujuko. I know it's a complex name, don't worry about it. Yes, so I remember their names, that they are like my best buddies there. But they're very mean too. Not mean, but we see them as being mean because they were so strict. But they made us who we are. Anyways, so one of the things they told me is to start my work, any point I'm using as my radius, I need to use this pointed part of my compass and create a tiny hole in it. The reason they said that is because if I do not do that, it is possible when I'm trying to draw a circle, my hand moves and takes this apple. I don't think you can see that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Alright. It is possible this happens, so to avoid that, they asked me to always create a tiny hole, because if I do that, then I could put my compass and there's a solid kind of a foundation thing to hold it firmly. Do you understand the point? So it's just a precaution. It's not like expected of you to create a hole on the paper. It's just a precaution. Alright, so having done that, also another thing is, in the steps, I always talk about radius. So I'm going to quickly re-explain this. All of you have done this. I can see you did something wonderful. But I'm going to be using this word a lot in the steps I'm going to be giving you. What do I mean by radius? Let's pretend we want to draw a circle here. Is it a circle? You see what happened because I did not do that thing? Do you see that? Somewhere here? That's one of the reasons you have to have that safety precaution. Okay, so let me draw a circle here. I've created a hole before I start, and now I have my circle. Okay? Now, look at this. What is the radius of this circle? The distance from here to here, right? Now, in my compass, what is the radius? From this point to the pencil, right?
Yeah.
So when I ask you use a radius of 5 centimeters, what I'm telling you to do is place your ruler like that and measure. Make sure this gap is 5 to 0, like that. Can you see? So when I say use a radius of certain length, this is what I mean. It means measure such that the gap between these two is 5. So this is what I mean by radius, the gap between it. Okay? Having said that, Elsie, I've not asked you to measure. You have done your work already. Can you just pay attention? Let's do this together. So let's look at the steps again. Draw line AB, we have done that. With your compass on A. So rather than also say with your compass on A, I could also say with A as what? Center or fixed point. Remember, your center is where you place this. Okay? When I draw a circle, my center is where this stays, right? This guy draws the circumference. So when I say with A as center, it means place your compass, this point of the compass on A. Okay? That's the reason I'm saying that. Anyways. So with your compass on A and a radius more than half of AB, I never said measure. You don't have to measure. It would be wrong, not really wrong, like time wasting, for me to place my ruler here, measure and divide by 2 and increase it. No. Oh, I don't need that. Do I need to measure to get more than half? No. Just put your compass on this. You can move your paper around. It's a paper anyway. It's not going to complain. Is this more than half?
Yes.
Is this more than half?
No.
Maybe.
Not really, maybe. But we don't want maybe with this certainty, right? But we are sure this is more than half.
Yeah.
Make sure your work is always neat. So all these unnecessary acts go away. So I put it here, more than half. I draw an arc above and below. You don't have to draw a full circle. Okay? You don't have to draw a full circle. Now also, I put it on the other part. Now the step says, with the same radius, which means do not change this. You just use this on A. Do not change it with the same radius. Place it on B now. B is now my center. You are not drawing the arc above and below again. You are only looking for the point of intersection. Can you see that? The less construction work you have on your paper, the clearer your diagram. But if you have so many circles, arcs, and one triangle, like it becomes too messy. Candy, are you tired? You want to stand up for a minute? You sure? Can give you 3 minutes. You can, do this on your desk also. All right. Okay? Then you can watch the video later if you miss anything. Please, nobody should for 3 minutes tomorrow.
Does it have 5?
No. All right. So now the next thing is for me to join this point of intersection together. We have to label. Thank you. Oh, she's not so. She's not only good with biting fingers. She knows how to remind me. All right. So I'm gonna call this maybe X, and this is Y. It doesn't mean every time it's gonna be called X and Y. I'm only following the guideline here. Okay. So what else is the next step? Call this point of intersection X and Y. Join X and Y. Actually, it could be draw a straight line through X and Y. So what I will do also at first, because sometimes you draw and you realize, I don't know if this has happened to anyone, you have your arc like this, you draw a line through it and it comes like that. Have you, no, maybe like this. Have you ever experienced something like this before?
Yeah.
No. Something like this. Whereby it's very close to the point you are trying to get to, but you don't know how that happened. So to avoid that, you can create that thing again. You know why I did this? I'm going to put, when I put my ruler, it's easy to assume it's going to pass through it, but maybe it's not going to pass through it. So what I do is I put it here, I try to move my ruler and see if my ruler is very close to the pencil. I try it at the top also. Oh, everybody is in order. Then I draw a straight line. And I'm very sure it will never miss the point. Okay? So what I've done 2 things in one step. Tamila, you look confused. Okay. I've done 2 things with this. The first thing I did was to divide this line into 2 equal parts. The second thing I did is to construct 90 degrees at the middle of the point. Any questions? Any questions? Oh, you're trying to check if it is at the middle? You see what these guys are doing? Alright, let's check. We should be right.
Should we use it?
90. So the original length is what?
7.8.
Like 7.8, and when we divide it, it's about 3.85. Okay? You can have plus or minus 0.1 millimeter or something like that. So it's allowed. Now, I need you to, after this precaution that I've said, I need you to draw another straight line, bisect it, and try to avoid some of the mistakes you think you made in the original one you did for yourself. Okay? Then one other precaution. Guys, listen. One other thing, listen. When we solve a problem in math, say for example, 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. Oh, no. Okay, maybe you are trying to do substitute x squared minus 1 when x equals 9. Of course, you say 9 squared minus 1, right? And maybe somewhere at the side, you do 9 times 9, you work it out, you get what? 81. Then you write 81 minus 1 is equal to 80, right?
Yeah.
This is important, but it's not exactly what we want to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is this important?
Because you're working out the square.
Is it working out to help you get this original solution? Is that not? Now, why do I mention this? What exactly is the original requirement, the main thing that I'm required to do in this construction? The line. So what exactly do you think is the workings?
The arc.
The arcs. So in that case, your arcs should not be too bold. Okay? So basically, this is like, the line is like the celebrant. The act is like the guest. You shouldn't just show up in somebody's birthday ceremony and dress more than them so everybody notices you more than the celebrant. Alex does that? Alex, is that what you do?
Yeah.
You guys dress too much so everybody sees you. Anyway, so my point is, try to draw your arc as faint as possible. So which means do not apply too much pressure when drawing the arcs. Does that make sense?
So we didn't see it.
We need to see it, but it shouldn't be. It's like me drawing my arc, and my arc is this bold. Like, it doesn't make sense. Do you get my point? We should see it, but it shouldn't be too bold compared to the original line that we want.
Okay.
But we need to see it, okay? Alright, so draw just one. I'm going to put on the light. Just do one more. Sorry about that. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay. It's alright, no problem. Yes. Yeah. Oh! You know, if you school in my country, you probably get all your hair cut off because of that style you put. Or whatever thing you drink you're putting on your head. What does that mean anyway? It looks like chi-square to me. There's something we call chi-square in math, like this. This is chi. That's chi. So this is chi-square in math. Just check online, C-H-I. Chi.
That's fine.
Well, in Chinese it's G. We call it chi-square. Oh, really? I can write some stuff that should have been
Wait,
cheap,
can I,
but they're pronounced chi.
Daniel, can I see the
How about this?
Mr. Daniel.
Is it O-A? Yeah, how about that?
Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel.
Why not chills?
No.
What?
Can I see the
See what?
diagram?
Oh, okay. The one I constructed. Okay, get ready to start. So on this, I'm going to put some pictures. I'm going to put a sketch of some figures here. You're going to use that scale to bring out what I'm about to put here. You will not be guided. You should do it on your own. Now this is not going to be about bisecting a line. It's not going to be about 90 degrees at the center. Like I told you, you've done two things already. Can I finish? Thank you. You've done two things already. You have bisected the line and you have constructed 90 at the center. So how do you use this scale to construct exact shape of this sketch? So this is your task 1. For the date. I like the date first.
18.
Wait, 18.
On
You
the
said
margin.
you want us to, Mr. Daniel, you said you want us to stick with our book when we're done, right?
What? Yeah, you stick it to your.
Okay. We don't use the back.
Today is Monday. Monday 17.
Amazing.
It's not every
Wait,
year.
Mr. Daniel, we don't use the back.
Don't use the back. You don't use the back? No. Alright, okay, quiet.
Salon productive.
Lord. So this is a rhombus. the diagonals AC and BD will be, let's make this 10 cm and this 12 cm. Okay, I'm going to change it. Make this 16 and this 12. Alright. So after you construct, you know what the rhombus is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so use your properties of rhombus and what you just revised to bring out the exact shape for this. So after you do that, I want you to measure AB and write it. Just write AB is equal to somewhere after you construct in that paper. Okay? So that's the question I want you to try. That's one. Okay. Second one will be a kite. What can you tell me about the rhombus? This two are the same. What about this one?
AB equals
All these are the same in rhombus. They're all the same in rhombus. But the kite, what about the kite?
different. Like,
So the one will be the same, the one will be the same, yeah. What else do you know about the rhombus? They bisect at 90. What else do you know about it?
they have the same length.
So she said they bisect at 90, so this will be 90. Yes, what else do you know? Same length. That's the meaning of this.
Parallel.
There's no parallel.
Yeah, it's a parallel.
Okay. But we don't need that here now.
It's just the same length.
You still need one clue to be able to get this picture.
Can we scale it down?
What?
Scale it down.
No, this is 16 and 12, so they are not the same.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yes.
Can we scale it down?
It's too long?
Yeah, that's just wasted.
Oh.
Also my
Okay, shall we change it to 8 and 6 then?
Yeah.
Alright, let's change it to 8 and 6. Well, if you think you have enough space for the 12 and 16, go ahead. Come on, guys. So, one more thing. What is your question, Giselle?
Do you sketch that or just drawing?
No, you don't need to. You can sketch it in your notebook if you want to see what you did. Okay, but the video will always be available, so maybe you don't need to. Yes, and I want you to stick the white paper in your notes so you can always refer to it. So, there's one more clue which you will need when doing that work.
BD cuts AC in.
BD cuts AC in half. Thank you. Actually, both of them cut each other in half. So if this is this, this will be that. Like that. That's what it means. So you have all the clue that you need, right?
We write it in the second paper or we write it?
You mean this sketch? It will be your notebook if you want to put it in your notebook. No, the white paper is strictly for construction. It's not to write these notes. Okay? So that's why I said if you want to, put it in your notebook. But if you don't want to, construct the perfect one and just take the white paper in your notebook. In any case, you still have to stick the white paper in your notebook. Is that clear?
We start with a new paper or we do it back?
Anyone? No, don't do the back because I want you to stick it. So all the construction should be done one side of the paper, please. Don't do on both sides, okay? There's enough paper in the school, don't worry. Don't tell Mr. Naya I said that. What? So I'm going to cut the paper and bring it to class. But I'm not printing, it's just a blank paper. So I'm going to put all this here. So AC is 8, BD is 6, then I say